Good morning, everyone. My name is Natasha Rachel. I am joining you all the way from Atlanta, Georgia in the United States. We are so excited to be here with you today. Mari Venturino is your awesome presenter for today. She is going to get you going. We have just a few exciting things to get you started this morning before we start our session. We know we're a little bit early, so we will be getting started with the session at the top of the hour, but I'm going to pass it over to Mari just to get us started and going for just a few awesome activities to get you started. So Mari, take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Natasha. She forgot to mention she is actually Dr. Natasha Rachel. Super special. I am coming to you from San Diego, California in the United States, and I am a science teacher, and one of my favorite things to do is to go to the San Diego Zoo. It's pretty famous. So I figured I'd take you all with me to the San Diego Zoo this morning just for a few minutes while we're waiting to get started. So I am going to go right here, and there we go. So the San Diego Zoo has live cams, which are super cool. I love checking in on the animals. So it's almost 7 a.m. here in California, and the penguins are just waking up. In about 2 hours, they'll be fed, which is really exciting. It's always fun to watch the penguins being fed. They're fed at about 9 a.m. Pacific time. And you can see them all, they all end up crowding around that little gate right there and hanging out. So if, let's see, Natasha, did you drop in the form? Do we want anyone to make observations?
Yes, I would love that.
I think that would be fun. We can drop in observations that you make of the penguins doing what they're doing. It's always fun to take a look, see what they're up to, make some observations about what you see.
All right, so in the announcements Q&A, you will see a form there. You can go ahead and click on that link or type that link in and enter in your name on that first line. And then on that second line, go ahead and make those observations. Let us know what you see.
I'm wondering if they'll change the view. I wonder where everyone else is. There's maybe about 30 or so. Oh, I don't know if you saw that head pop up. There's usually about 30 or 40 penguins hanging out in this enclosure. And yeah, they're a whole lot of fun. Definitely one of my favorite exhibits at the zoo. But there's a whole other bunch of live cams. You know, they're fun to pull up, fun to hang out with.
So I would just like to remind everyone as we're getting set up and getting going and started, we're still kind of in the before the session starts. For those of you that may be typing in the Q&A box, I am working behind the scenes this morning and I'm the only one that is going to see those comments. So Mari will not see those comments. So if you have comments or questions for Mari, your presenter, you're going to want to put those in that form that I just put in the announcements tab. But Mari, we do have a question. I don't know if you're able to answer. It says, for what reason do penguins spin around underwater?
I have no scientific clue. That seems like a good answer to search up. But it is super cute. I will say that. I have no idea. It is pretty cool. Kind of the viewing area, maybe about where the camera is. There's glass panels, so you can see them underwater. If you ever have the opportunity to visit the zoo. That's a great question. I have no idea.
Me either. Now I'm going to want to Google that.
Yeah.
All right, so again, that form, that Microsoft form is in the published tab there. That's in the announcements tab that you all are able to view. So you can go ahead and grab the link there. Go ahead and let us know your name. Let us know what grade level you are, and let us know what you're observing. Right now, if you're just joining us, I know a lot of people have just joined us. We are observing the penguins. Mario, did you say we're in the San Diego Zoo? Is that correct?
We are in the San Diego Zoo.
We are visiting the San Diego Zoo. We are making observations about the penguins at the San Diego Zoo in Southern California. And we will be getting started with our session in just about another minute. And I would just like to give Shawnee Williams a shout out. He has joined, so good morning, Mr. Williams, and hopefully Mrs. Williams and baby Williams are doing well. So we would just like to say hello.
And Furry Williams.
Yes. Mr. Smith, you are on the teacher's page, so I can assist you with anything right here where you are. All right, with that, I am going to hand it over here. So again, good morning, everyone. My name is Natasha Rachel. I am joining you from Atlanta. For those of you that are just joining us, it is dark here because it is super rainy and gloomy. I have lights on in the house and it's still super dark. So crazy. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you that are celebrating as well. I hope everyone has their green on today. Just wanted to say good morning and welcome you to our session this morning. I'm super excited to be here with you this morning with Mari Venturino, who's joining you from the other coast, the West Coast, and is going to be sharing some awesome and amazing tips with you that I'm super excited to learn about with you as well. So with that, it is the top of the hour. I'm going to go ahead and send it on over to Mari, and let's get ready to learn all about how we can take better care of ourselves. So Mari, take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Natasha. Super excited to be joining you all from San Diego, California. I'm only about 15 minutes from the San Diego Zoo, but still, it's hard to make it there. So that's why we spend our first few minutes here hanging out with the penguins, which is always one of my very favorite things to do. But I'm going to go ahead and close up this tab, and we are going to be talking about ways to look after you. Life is pretty stressful. There's so much going on, and finding some ways that we can set goals and set intentions for taking the best care of ourselves that we possibly can. So one way I do that is if I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed, I'll go hang out with the penguins for a few minutes. And that's one way that I take care of me. And even when I haven't been able to do it in person, being able to visit them online brings me a similar level of happiness. So like Natasha said, this is where we're coming to you from. We are actually friends in real life, but just separated by quite a bit of land. This is who we are. We're both teachers. We both love hanging out and diving into important things like taking care of ourselves, taking care of our bodies, taking care of our minds, and taking care of our friendships. So that's what we're here for. Before I carry on too much, so you can see up in the top left, there's a map of the United States, which is where both Natasha and I are coming from. California is highlighted in red, and then I am down at the very bottom of California, in Southern California, in San Diego. And San Diego resides on Kumeyaay land. They are indigenous people who span the Southern California region and also the northern Mexico, Baja California region. So I want to acknowledge that that is where I am coming to you from. And it is beautiful, beautiful land. So launching into what we're doing today, today we are going to be looking at a really cool model called the health triangle. And the health triangle is just a framework for looking at our physical health, our mental and emotional health, and our social health. So we'll be doing a few different activities today to monitor our health, to take care of our health, and to try out a few of these things. So to get you all started, we're going to try something a little bit crazy. We are going to get you all into Pear Deck. So I know Natasha is dropping this into the Q&A, the student link. So go ahead and join. We'll be honest, we've never tried Pear Deck with this many people. So it could be awesome. And it could be, well, if things don't go right, then we will go with a backup plan, which is, what we do in life. So thanks to the 7 of you who are already in, you'll notice it asks you to put in, you'll get an anonymous animal and you'll get a nickname. So thank you all for joining up here. So awesome. We got, wow, the numbers are sure climbing. This is awesome. So give you about a minute left to get into here. So we're going to be asking a series of questions as we go through. So Pear Deck will be one way you can communicate and share your ideas with us. There'll be some collaborative questions and answers that we will ask, and we may display some of those responses on the screen. Again, they'll all be anonymous since you're joining in as anonymous animals. There'll also be some reflection questions. Those will be individual reflection questions that we will not share. We'll just keep those private between you and us. So I see the numbers are climbing like crazy. As the last big handful of you are getting in, we're just going to start off with just a moment to check in with ourselves. So I would love for you to share, what is something this year that you've done this year that you are proud of? Awesome, seeing quite a few answers coming in already. Hey, Natasha, didn't you do something really big in 2020?
I did. I'm sitting here thinking, like, what did I do in 2020? I did. I finished my dissertation and became a doctor. Finally, after like 9 years. So yeah. Didn't you do something huge in 2020, Mari? Or 2019? 2019, 2020?
I started my doctorate.
Yes, you did. You did.
Hey, starting something can be something you're proud of too, everyone, wherever
Absolutely.
you are in this journey. Seeing a lot of things. So many of you acknowledging just surviving the pandemic. I mean, that is something, every single day. Got a red belt in Taekwondo. That's so awesome. Some of you learning to code. Proud of your grades. A lot of building projects. I see some Lego building projects, some Scratch building projects. Awesome. A lot of different craft activities. Super cool. Making some new friends. That is so awesome. Hey, everyone, give yourself a little pat on the back, because no matter what, you have done something awesome. Even just getting up this morning, that is something awesome. Sometimes we need to celebrate those little wins as well. So awesome job, everyone. Thank you for sharing your responses. Awesome. So we are going to launch into this thing called the health triangle. And the health triangle is just a model, a way to, oops, this one is not moving along like I want it to. There we go. Maybe. Wonder if it's Natasha, I wonder if we broke Pear Deck. Oh, no, we're good. We're good.
It goes.
Hey, we're getting into our mental and emotional health and our physical health topics a little early, like taking deep breaths when things aren't working, right? The health triangle is a really cool model for how we can analyze our health. So there are three parts of the health triangle. There is physical health, there's mental and emotional health, and there is social health. So these three areas are the important parts of our health triangle that we're going to be talking about individually. But based on what we know about math, oh my gosh, I said the M word, which is one of my favorite words, the math word. This is an equilateral triangle, and our goal is to try to keep these different parts of our triangle fairly balanced. So that is kind of one of our big goals here with our health. These three areas of health, we want to keep them fairly balanced relative to each other. So I'm going to launch us into a talk about physical health. I'm going to share a few strategies with physical health, things to kind of get your mind thinking about what is physical health. And then I will also give you a chance to brainstorm some ways that you take care of your physical health. So these are things I'm sure you know, you hear adults telling you this, you hear your teachers telling you this, you hear the media telling you this, but things like taking care of your body, feeding your body with the foods that are going to help you grow. That doesn't mean no junk food. That means just making sure you're balancing the things that we are able to eat. Getting enough sleep, that's a big one. I don't know about you all, but I need 8 hours of sleep a night to be a functional human being. That's something I've learned about me. And as younger people, you all need 8 to 10 hours, maybe even more sleep a night, just to be able to grow, develop, and all that. And then as you're able, going to the doctor and dentist regularly are all ways we can take care of our physical health. So it's not just things like exercise, it's things like what we eat and how we take care of ourselves. So give you an opportunity to take about 2 minutes. This is a drawing slide, so it's kind of fun. Go ahead and draw what physical health looks like to you. Awesome. See a lot of you, maybe if it's your first time on Pear Deck, you're learning kind of the drawing tools, and that's okay. That's great. Awesome. I see some people drawing animals. So maybe that means like going out for walks with your pets. I see some dancing, some martial arts. I see some apples. So maybe that representing nutrition. I see somebody drawing that they like to cook. That's awesome. Awesome. Nice work, everyone. A lot of great brainstorms happening here. I'll give you another 30 seconds. All right. So many good things. I am going to put us off onto a challenge right now. So now that you brainstormed ways that you like to take care of your physical health, we are going to get our best penguin selves together, and we are going to do a fun little physical health challenge. These are easy ways that we can get our bodies moving. I don't know about you all, but like for me, sitting all day is challenging, and just finding little ways to do different activities is really helpful. So this one, if you're able, you're going to get up and get moving. This is a multiple choice question. So you get to pick, you get to choose your own adventure. What are you going to pick? So based on which animal you think is the most intelligent, you might have some knowledge on this, you might just have a guess. This is what you are going to do. If you pick dog, you're going to hop up and down. If you pick parrot, you're going to wave your arms up and down. That's a good one if you are not able to get, if you prefer to stay seated. You can practice, moving your arms around, get that blood flowing in your arms. If you pick chimpanzee, you can get up and turn in circles. And if you pick dolphin, you're going to march with high knees. So pick one of those, and we'll give you about 45 seconds to try that different movement.
I can just imagine classes full of students and students at home that are moving around, getting the blood flowing. Absolutely amazing.
I know.
Movement.
This is one we're going to do in class today too. In my classes, it's fun.
It is. Movement is so important, and you don't realize it when you've been sitting for so long at a computer, especially since we've been working from home and doing school from home, or even when you're sitting in your desk at school, just being able to move your body and release some of the tension and get your blood flowing, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, there's some really cool, I should have found one of those videos, but like chair yoga kind of things where you don't really even have to get up out of your seat. You can just do it from right where you're sitting. I think that's super cool. All right. Well, if you got up, settle back down into your chair. I'll give you about 10 seconds to do that. Because the next activity we're going to do, you can most likely will be seated. Alrighty. So this is a really fun activity too. Sometimes for me, like being in school also, there's a lot of reading that I have to do, and sometimes sitting and reading for long periods of time can be difficult because my body just wants to wiggle. So I'm going to read this out loud to you, all about marsupials, so more fun science stuff. And while I'm reading to you, in your chair, you can do toe raises, and so get your legs moving up and down. So as I read to you, you'll do this, and then afterwards, it'll give you a second to annotate, so you'll be able to draw on this slide and highlight the most important details from what you heard being read to you. So first, what's a marsupial? A mammal where the mother has a pouch for carrying, feeding, and protecting her young. While a red kangaroo may be the largest marsupial, the newborn baby is tiny, under an inch long. After a few months of sleeping, nursing, and growing in mom's stomach pouch, the young kangaroo, called a joey, begins to come out. But it hurries back to the pouch fast when frightened, hungry, and cold. So I'll leave this slide open for another minute or so for you to annotate on top of this paragraph to highlight your most important detail.
While you all are annotating, I just want to remind you that you do have access to the form, that Microsoft form. It's there in the announcements that you can click on to let us know your name and let us know any questions that you may have. I do see some that are coming into the Q&A here that only I can see. So Mari, you won't see these, but someone wants to know, how do they fix always being tired? And then there is another question that says, what's annotate? So I don't know if you want to review how they can annotate on top of their Pear Deck.
Sure thing. Annotate is just a word that we use to describe what we do with text. So sometimes we underline, sometimes we highlight, sometimes we circle. So in this case, I'm asking you to highlight the most important detail that you see. So when we say annotate, in this case, I'm asking you to please highlight your most important detail. Awesome. And then what can we do about being tired all the time? You know, that is definitely something that's difficult. I know it can be very difficult to, you know, if you don't feel like you're getting enough sleep. So some of it could be getting enough sleep, you know, making sure that you are eating as healthy.
Oh, Mari, I think we lost your volume. Can you hear me, Mari? I think we lost your volume. I'm not hearing you. There you go.
Good. Okay. Oh, it's not a day unless you lose audio at some point, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, trying this again. You know, a lot of times, you know, if we're really feeling tired, you know, making sure we're getting enough sleep, checking in, you know, what are we eating? You know, if you're just eating junk food all day, you know, sometimes that can not make you feel your best. And then surprisingly, getting exercise actually can help you feel less tired. It seems opposite of what you'd expect, but getting exercise actually is a really good process for your body. It helps you sleep better. It helps you feel better about yourself. And then that's a positive cycle that gets you to be doing, you know, more positives for your body. So great questions. Great job annotating, everyone, as well. Good job highlighting your main ideas. So great job. Thank you for doing that. We're going to give you 3 minutes for individual reflection now. And this is really important time. So if you're in the classroom with your class, this will be time to sit quietly and reflect. And during this time, we're not going to talk. We'll just let you do this reflection yourself. But I want you to brainstorm 3 ways you already take care of your physical health and 1 goal that you have for your physical health. These goals will not be shared out. These ones you'll just keep between you and yourself. So give you 3 quiet minutes to go ahead and do this. Alrighty, so hopefully you took some good time to reflect on the ways you take care of your physical health, and then one goal that you have for yourself for your physical health. You know, it's really important just for our bodies that we set goals, you know, make sure that those goals are something that you feel like you could attain. So maybe, you know, for me, maybe it's not like my goal isn't run a marathon. Maybe my goal is to get 30 minutes of physical activity every day. You know, something a little bit more manageable within, you know, what I have time and energy for. So great job, everyone, setting your goals. I am going to move along. We're going to go on to our next area of health, which is our mental and emotional health. So again, just like I did with physical health, I'll go over some ways that we can take care of our our mental and emotional health, and then give you a chance to share ways that you already do this. So some ways that we can take care of our mental and emotional health. These are, you know, it's beyond what we hear about in the media, and you all are lucky as young people that there's a lot more conversation in the media, in books, in TV shows, in social media, just around topics of mental and emotional health. You know, I could tell when I was growing up, and I'm sure Natasha could, you know, say the same thing, that when we were younger, this wasn't something people talked about. And if you talked about it, you know, maybe you were looked down upon or bullied for, you know, saying these types of things. So I would say that, you know, we're seeing positive change in our world. So we hear about mental and emotional health conditions, things like anxiety, things like depression, you know, things that can be caused by chemical imbalances in our body. But also, there's a lot more to mental and emotional health. Things like liking and accepting yourself for who you are. Now, those of you that are, you know, in the middle school range, you know, you might be sitting here thinking like, oh, well, I'll never, you know, like and accept myself for who I am. And, you know, it's a tough thing when you're in kind of those age ranges. There's a lot of new things that you're discovering about yourself. You're trying on different identities, you're learning new things about yourself. And it's a process. It's a process that, even if it feels like the adults around you don't know or don't care, we've all been through those times. So, just knowing that it's a process you're going through is something to really value. Other important things too, finding solutions to problems. We have issues, things come up every single day that are frustrating, and just learning how to find solutions to those problems are really, really important. Expressing emotions in healthy ways. It's good to show your emotions. It's good to, if you're, feeling happy, to be able to say, I'm happy, or if you're feeling sad, to be able to say, I'm sad. And even feeling angry, we all feel angry at some point or another with somebody else or about another situation. But, some of that is about expressing that emotion in a healthy way. So maybe instead of, smashing something, you go out, and play basketball, or you read a book, or you listen to some music, finding ways to express those emotions in ways that help you process them, but also, don't hurt people around you unintentionally. And then lastly, finding positive ways to manage stress. Stress is something we're always going to have in our lives, so learning how works for you. What works for me is going to be different than what works for you. For me, if I'm feeling stressed, I'll pull up the San Diego Zoo live cameras and watch the penguins for 5 or 10 minutes. And that's, one way I can help reset myself. For you, it might be a completely different process, and both of those are really, really valid. So we're going to give you another 2 minutes of time to brainstorm, and just like we did with physical health, we'll give you a couple minutes to think about ways that you already take care of your mental and emotional health. So for this, you'll be answering in Pear Deck, and we'll give you about 2 minutes for this. Alrighty, so many great responses coming through. So thank you all for participating. Thank you all for sharing such great ideas on ways that what mental and emotional health looks like to you. So again, thank you all for sharing here in Pear Deck. Next, we are going to do one of my favorite activities. I know we talk about mindfulness. We talk about ways that we can take care of our mental and emotional health. And you hear about people talking about meditation. Maybe that's something that's new to you. Maybe that's something that you've never tried before. So we're all going to try it together. So one of my favorite tools, it's free, it's called calm.com. If you have a smartphone, you can also download the app and access this for free on your own and use it whenever you find it to be a useful tool. But we're going to be doing this 3-minute body scan. So I'm going to pop this open and we are going to do just the 3-minute version. Oops, guess it wants me to log in.
Welcome to this 3-minute guided body scan. Start by finding a comfortable position with a straight back and close your eyes. Rest your hands gently and allow your shoulders to relax. And take a few deep breaths to ground you in this moment. Feeling your breath as it enters your body and as it leaves your body. Follow the calming breath, the soothing breath, the breath that connects the mind and body. And now bring your attention to your head, feeling into your scalp, forehead, and face. Allow all the muscles in your head and face to soften. And lower your focus to the neck and shoulders, noticing any sensation here. Bringing awareness to your arms, all the way through to the wrists, palms, and fingers. Observing any sensation that arises on the surface of the skin or deeper within. Now scan your back, and if you notice any intensity, direct the breath into that area to allow for a softening. Feel into the belly, observing its rise and fall, rise and fall. And scan your pelvis and hips, moving your attention all the way into the legs and feet. Letting them relax and become soft. And now settle into the stillness that comes from paying attention to your body, part by part. And when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes. Come back to the room and open your eyes. Enjoy this relaxed, peaceful state and take it with you into your day.
Awesome. Great job, everyone. Those 3 minutes are really doable. If you feel like you can do more, they go all the way up to 30 minutes. But for me, 3 minutes is usually just enough time to kind of get in a few deep breaths, feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more calm, and ready to take on whatever is next. Oops. There we go. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is give you a few minutes for individual reflection time. Looks like there we go. Got it. We got this. All right, so during our individual reflection time, while this is loading, you are going to, just like you did before, list 3 ways that you already take care of your mental and emotional health, and 1 goal that you have for your mental and emotional health. So we'll give you about 3 minutes for this.
Ari, can you clarify again, while they're doing that reflection activity, the Calm app, is it a free application or is there a free component to it, or is it definitely a paid app? Can you talk a little bit more about that, please?
Sure thing. Yeah, it is free. They have a paid version too, but I just use the free version. And it's similar to apps like Headspace as well. So both of those, are those types of meditation apps that have a free version and then a paid version. But always go free. And YouTube also has some really good breathing video, body scan videos, all of that. So you don't have to use an app. You can always just head over to YouTube.
And then we have a question here. Can sleep affect mental health?
Definitely. Just as a teacher, knowing that, making sure you get enough sleep definitely helps you feel more alert, makes you feel more ready to take on your day. But, if you do have serious concerns, about your ability to get sleep, if you're not sleeping well, if you feel like it's affecting your mental and emotional health, that's a really good opportunity to go talk to a doctor, because neither of us are medical doctors. And so we can't give you, specific medical advice, but we can encourage you, do get enough sleep. And if you feel like it's negatively impacting you, definitely go talk to your doctor. That's a really good conversation to have. So I'm seeing a lot of great responses coming in. So thank you all for setting your goals. We are really proud of you for giving this a big effort. So great work. We got one more area of health, and that is social health. Social health is just like what it sounds like. It's our health related to other people and how we socialize with people. There can be a lot of different ways that we do this. Things like getting along with other people. Now, a caveat to that doesn't mean you have to like everyone or want to spend time with everyone, but it just means that we need to give, a good level of kindness to the people around us. And even if you don't want to be friends with somebody, just being able to be kind, if you are asked to work in a group with them, that you are kind, doesn't mean you have to want to eat lunch with them every day, but that level of kindness that you can give to the people around you. Being a caring family member to the people of your household, being able to make friends, being able to keep friends, being a supportive friend or family member, and then also just interacting with different people, getting different perspectives on the world, getting different viewpoints, hearing from people of different backgrounds. That can include, interacting with the people around you. It could also mean reading books of people that are different from you. So getting those different perspectives and making sure that you're seeing diversity in just the way that you and other people are seeing the world. So that's all part of social health. Doesn't mean, that having the most friends makes you the most socially healthy, or having the least friends makes you least socially healthy. It's about the quality of those friends and those friendships and those family relationships, if those are able to be positive, that you're able to keep around you. So just like we've done before, I would love for you to share ways that you keep yourself socially healthy. Great job, everyone. I love seeing these drawings come through. Keep up the great work. Now that you have experience on Pear Deck, I think I'm seeing more with the drawing tool. So great job. Some of you are noticing that you can type instead, so nice job there.
Mari, I'm wondering if you can address, I have a statement that has come in while our students are drawing what social health looks like to them, from a 14-year-old, so a teenager, who's just a little bit concerned that they have found that since online school has started, they have identified just some feelings of being frustrated or easily annoyed since school has started in the online setting. And they're just curious if that is because they're a teenager or because they've had to stay inside a whole bunch because they're, doing school online. So if you could talk a little bit about that.
Sure. All of those feelings are valid. And I teach teenagers as well. My students are between 12 and 14, and that's definitely something that we've talked about. Is not only is it hard to be a teenager because you have so many new feelings that sometimes you're not sure what to do, or you're annoyed and you're not really sure why. That's so valid. And then also, humans aren't built to be isolated like we've had to be the last year. We're not going through something that's normal. And I think we all recognize at this point that a pandemic is not normal life. And so, those are definitely valid feelings, you know, of feeling that isolation, of noticing that, you know, you're a little bit more on edge. Maybe if you have siblings, they annoy you faster than they did before, because, you know, we've all been kind of cooped up in our own bubbles and not being able to interact, you know, in a school environment. And I think, you know, it's hard for us as adults too, for that. So, you know, I think there's an end in sight. You know, I feel hopeful, but, you know, at the same time, you know, if you're really feeling some strong emotions, that's a good opportunity to reach out to a trusted adult too and let them know, hey, I'm feeling this way. You know, can you help me? You know, that could be your teacher, it could be a family member, it could be an older sibling, like an aunt, an uncle, grandparent, you know, all those important adults in our lives. You know, that is somebody to reach out to, you know, if you're feeling those. And there's no shame in feeling those. You know, this is where kind of all these areas of health go together, is, you know, sometimes your mental and emotional health and social health kind of are interacting, and because you're not getting, you know, those social interactions that we're so used to when being in in-person school, you know, sometimes it just feels a lot harder and it's impacting mental and emotional health. So I encourage you to reach out to, you know, those trusted adults, have those conversations, and you know, it's a brave thing to do, and I know you can do it. So I'm so glad you brought that up. That was a really brave comment to even bring that up to us. So thank you.
Yeah, and there's a follow-up comment here that just from another scholar that says that their grades they've seen a decrease in their grades as well, with them and a lot of other people, just because of how compressed the work has had to be. So I know Mari just said it, but you all are super, super brave, and we see you. We see you, and we acknowledge your feelings. And like she said, they are definitely valid.
Mm-hmm. And I think this is a worldwide concern. You know, you all are, you know, many, many kilometers away from where my students are, but they're having the same struggles. You know, I teach 2 grade levels, and so, you know, some of my students that I had last year that did really great, all of a sudden when we went to online learning, they struggled so badly. And, you know, it's hard. It's hard. I'll leave it at that, but it's really, really hard for a lot of us. So we as adults are proud of you all for doing this, because we know that what you're being asked to do and what you're being, you know, forced to do in a lot of ways is really tough. So yeah, we're proud.
And you guys are all amazing. All of you are amazing.
I know. And having those kind of anchoring friendships, having those people that lift you up, you know, can bring a little bit of sunshine to your day. So we're going to try a challenge. I don't know if it's going to work on Pear Deck with this many people. There are 776 people in Pear Deck, and I have never tried this with such a large group. So if it works, cool, and if it doesn't, well, we're going to learn something new. So your challenge, and I'm going to see if I can show responses and show the overlay. We'll see if it might just be on a delay. You have a bunch of different icons in your Pear Deck, and you're going to try to move those around to build a flower. Now, I have no idea if this is going to work. I've never tried it with this many people. I'll give it another 15 seconds or so. It could just be that the load time with this many people might not let us do it. But we'll see. Anything that we can feel like we're, you know, doing some teamwork, you know, whether it's working on a project in class, maybe it's helping somebody cook dinner, you know, anytime you feel like you're part of a team, you know, it could even be playing video games online with a friend, and you're on the same team. You know, feeling that connection to somebody else because you're on the same team is such a cool feeling. So it seems like we have reached our capacity on what Pear Deck can do for us. So we learn a new thing every day. And you just take a deep breath and move on, because that didn't work like we wanted it to, and that's okay. So as we wrap up, we're going to do our final reflection on our social health. And in this reflection, you're going to reflect on, just like we've done before, 3 ways that we take care of our social and emotional health, kind of grouping that together, and then 1 goal that we have for our social health. So giving you about 3 minutes here, and then we're going to do 1 final wrap up. All right, everyone. So great job on your goal setting. Today, you have set 3 goals. You've set a physical health goal, a mental and emotional health goal, and a social goal. These are great goals to keep in mind moving forward. These are great goals to see if you can accomplish. And don't feel bad. Don't beat yourself up if you can't accomplish it in 1 week in all 3 goals. That's a lot to ask. But watching your progress over time is the most important part. So if each day you can do something just a little bit better than the day before, that is a progress towards hitting your goal. So as we wrap up, it's really good to also, one thing that's really great for our health is to practice our gratitude and practice, being thankful for things. So things that you appreciate. So Natasha will drop a link into the Q&A chat for you for a Microsoft form. You can drop in your name and then share something that you appreciate, something that you, really got out of this. You could share an aha, which is like something new you learned, maybe about yourself, maybe about health in general. And if you feel like there's something you need to apologize for, since we're online, we don't get to see you. But if you feel that, you have an apology, then that's a great place to share. But I really want to focus on those appreciations and ahas. What do you appreciate? And what was a big aha moment for you?
And I have dropped that link there in the little chat box there for you. And while you all are filling that out and those reflections are coming in, Mari, one last thing for you to hopefully give a quick tip or pointer. I'm just going to read this really quickly here. Ever since online started, I've been procrastinating and getting into a habit of not doing work, which is terrible, but I don't have the energy to do my homework and all if I can't do grade 8 work Then I'm terrified of homework in high school. I did do my homework in the beginning of online school and was very productive, but now I just can't seem to get out of the habit of not doing work. And I was wondering if you had any tips.
That is such a great question and such a relatable question. And that might be, that might be looking at mental and emotional health overall. I know a lot of students are struggling with it, and sometimes, one of the signs of maybe being depressed or being anxious is, not feeling like doing work. And you're not lazy, you're not a bad student. You're just trying to survive a global pandemic that has isolated us from everything for the past year. So, just know that if, you did great in school before, when you go back to school, you're going to do great again. You can't use, right now to figure out what type of student you are. But, if you are concerned, thank you for reaching out to us, and we encourage you to reach out to a trusted adult around you, because they can definitely give you that support. Whether, sometimes just you need a hug, sometimes you need a high five or a fist bump, sometimes maybe you just need an hour to just talk it out and, spill out everything that you're feeling. And those are all valid things. So I encourage you, if you are feeling like that, reach out to somebody, because we are here to support you. So we have hit the top of the hour again. So thank you all for sharing your appreciations and your ahas from today. It has been a pleasure sharing with you all, learning with you all, and learning from you all. So thank you for participating. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for making this morning awesome for us all.
Thank you very much. Your next steps are going to be to get in contact with your teacher or your parent or guardian. They are going to guide you to the next steps that you need to do for the rest of the day. We hope that you enjoyed this session and got some great tips to practice self-care and take better care of you. So thank you very much for spending time with us today, and we will see you again soon. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.